perfect.
Exactly, but we're doing our best. Hardly would you hear that any journalist has been oppressed or suppressed in Ghana. Yeah, we are very powerful. We're doing our best. We are holding our politicians accountable. Exactly. So I don't know what is happening in Egypt, and it appears, is it the first time I'm hearing this? I think something of that sort.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised. What has changed in Egypt?
Yeah, well, something has changed, definitely. But the election takes place later on this week, so I guess we await to hear, if we do hear what's happening in that country. Now, to a bit of business news. Facebook have been in the news so much recently because of the Cambridge Analytica allegations and everything that's happening with that. So Facebook boss Mark Zuckerberg has taken out full-page adverts in several UK and US Sunday newspapers to apologise for the firm's recent data privacy scandal. So he said in the adverts, which came out yesterday, that Facebook could have done more to stop millions of users having their data exploited by political consultancy Cambridge Analytica in 2014. So Mark Zuckerberg said, "This was a breach of trust and I am sorry." It comes amid reports Facebook has warned its data protection policies were too weak back in 2011. So for 7 years, they have known that their data protection policies were not strong enough for the environment that we live in.
Weak, as the statement put it. And I've been following this story since I got here last Tuesday. And you know, the conference I came to address in Bristol had to do with data. The UN conference, how we can use data to achieve the sustainable development goals. So this also came up, and we are here not knowing how powerful data can be, or what you can use data to do, because data is what we're using to achieve the sustainable development goals. And here's the case: people had their information on social media with another agency or body picking or using that data for their own purposes. I think this is risky, and I'm happy that Facebook boss has come to apologize. I think that's the way to go. Hoping that next time they're going to be extra careful, and so that they will see what others are using Facebook to do. Yeah, exactly.
It's not just about posting nice pictures of your dog or whatever. It's sharing data, and that very valuable data.
Yeah, and you see, we must be careful. One thing I told my friends always, they ask, why don't you have pictures of your family on it? I said, why must I do that? You understand? I had to protect them, because when I met my wife, she had no pictures on Facebook. So why must I put her pictures on Facebook? I will not do that. It also comes with our job. At times you should be careful where you work. You have to protect yourself and protect your family. So I didn't do that, but it surprises me when people open up so much, put some information on social media, to the point of telling the world that they are leaving their homes, they are going to this place, they'll be doing this, they'll be doing that, they'll spend weeks there. You understand? You are opening yourself up. If people are tracking you, if robbers want to do something to you, you are just telling them you are away, so they can just go in and do whatever they want to do.
It's true. It's a bit scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think Facebook have done enough?
The apology is a first step. I'm looking forward to Facebook introducing stringent measures to ensure that data of people are well protected. But the apologies is a first step, and
it's a first step,
exactly.
But I think it's going to be a bit of a long road for them. Absolutely,
it's not going to be easy
at all. So thank you so much for that. We're going to be right back with a little bit more after this quick break.
Thank you.
ABN Breakfast Show, your Afropolitan breakfast on radio.
Hi, this is Rodney Hines.
And I'm Michael.
Join us on the Voice of Sports show each and every Saturday on ABN Radio.
We'll keep you bang up to date with all the latest football scores, and we'll discuss all the big talking points in the world of sport. So don't forget, join us this Saturday, 4 till 6 on ABN Radio UK.
The Discourse on ABN Radio, engaging our community with discerning conversation.
Join me, Esther Alade, on The Discourse, where we will be redefining perspectives with authentic analysis.
Join The Discourse from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on ABN Radio.
This Friday and every Friday on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station. What do you like for breakfast?
Well, it depends what mood I'm in. If I'm happy, I like a little bit of porridge with banana because I'm feeling healthy.
coffee. If I'm in a...
Me, I like a bit of fruit. Nice apples, sliced apples.
I love a cinnamon and raisin bagel, some scrambled eggs, and
I say nice English breakfast.
So I like the fruit and orange.
I like wholemeal bagel with a bit of cream cheese on it and some bacon and then some avocado. And on the side, I like to have
fried egg with bacon, with baked beans. Toast.
I normally take my cocoa. Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a typical Ghanaian, so I like my cocoa. I'm not too sure. I normally don't eat breakfast.
It doesn't matter how you like your breakfast, or you may not like breakfast at all, but you will love the sound of your radio when the breakfast is Afropolitan. Watch out for the new ABN Radio Breakfast Show with Afua and Abeyie Bonsu. ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife. Save your life.
The new ABN Breakfast Show with Afua and Abeyie Bonsu.
That's right, you're still tuned in to the ABN Breakfast Show on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station. Seth, Kwame, Boateng's in the studio with me discussing the day's news stories. Seth, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. So earlier on you said you were in London for a conference for the UN talking about sustainable energy development goals. And I understand that by 2050 we've got certain development goals in place to do with the use of nuclear, to do with how our transport, our cars, our buses, how much is electric, and using less fuel, less diesel, and cutting CO2 emissions and things like that. How far along are we? How close are we to getting to those sustainable energy development goals?
So I think it's now that a number of countries are putting in place measures to ensure that these goals are attained. It's not going to be easy, and there are a number of processes various countries would have to follow. Mind you, even the 2030 SDGs, most countries have just started. You understand? So we have, 12 years. Yeah, we have a long way to go to talk of the energy one. So it will take quite a while, but countries are doing their best to making sure that we get that goal first, the 2030, before we move on to the 2050.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got a long way to go. Absolutely. Right, on to some more news stories of the day. So this is in Manchester, and this story scares the bejesus out of me. This is not good. So this is from the Manchester Evening News, and there's a video showing the moment police officers take down a man with a sword. The knife man was running away from an alley with a 3-foot sword before being confronted by officers. He lashes out and injures at least 2 of the officers before being disarmed. We really have an epidemic, and I think that's the only way that you can describe this at the moment. It's an epidemic of knives and guns on our streets,
and it's not new in Ghana. We've been having this in recent times, but I wished the man had lived to be questioned to find out why.
I think he is alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he's not.
He's not.
The officers didn't die, and he didn't die either. So he is alive.
So they will have time to question him to find out the motive. The motive, exactly. Because you wouldn't just get up, pull a knife just to hurt or kill another person, take the life of another human being.
Right.
Probably he has an issue that they may want to look into. If he has some challenges, psychological challenges, they may want to help him. Otherwise, it sounds abnormal to just pick up a knife in an attempt to take the life of another person.
And not just a knife, a 3-foot sword. I mean, that is something really scary, and it's really something that needs to be done at the moment.
But I'm happy the police were swift to make sure nobody died.
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree with you there. Right. On to another news story of the day. So Spanish police have rescued 39 women and girls smuggled in from Nigeria and trafficked into sex work by a notorious Nigerian gang. Europol says the victims were kept in squalid conditions in caves and intimidated with voodoo threats. Gang members forced the women to work into sex in order to pay off a €30,000 debt. 89 people, including a famous but as yet unnamed Nigerian DJ have been arrested. Wow. The DJ is said to have helped more victims to Spain and organised sexual exploitation across the country. He was caught flying back into Spain after recording a music video.
So are women doing this because of poverty or what? So how do they convince them to accept such an offer that let's go do this? Or they deceive them? They don't tell them that this is exactly what we're going to use to do in Spain. I'm trying to understand what will make people accept without questioning.
I don't know if it's accept without questioning. I think for me personally, instead of asking the question what makes women or what makes them think that this is a good idea, is we need to, it's not about, I'm not saying that we are victim blaming, but you need to change the narrative. So the narrative shouldn't be about why would women do this. The narrative should be, why do people have these gangs in the first place? That's the question. That's the question that we should be asking.
And the report is talking of a debt that they have to clear, they have to pay.
How did they get into this?
How did they get into this?
But this is the thing, is that I feel like it's, you know, I don't know how they do this, but often you read that they, you know, they'll say to them, we're going to take you to Spain or wherever to work for a family, and we're going to educate you and all the rest of it. And then when they're there, they say, well, it cost 30,000 euros for us to bring you here, therefore this is how you're going to pay it back.
Yeah, you know, a number of women have been victims in Ghana, those who were taken to the Arab countries. They end up being tortured, being exploited, and eventually, the last time I checked, embassy there had to go to their rescue and bring some of them down, otherwise they would have been killed. They were told, well, we will take you there, do job, pay you well. They get there and they are told a different story, that you have to pay for this, you have to pay for that. And it's something that, if we are really serious as Africans, we have to pay attention to this and see how best we can stop some of these things from happening.
Absolutely. And it's good that they've managed to arrest 89 people and break up this gang, but there needs to be, you know, I don't even know why these or how they are allowed to operate in the first place, and they scoop up all these young women who are vulnerable, who are looking for a better life, wanting to make money for their families or themselves, and they're very susceptible to this kind of, you know, to being led on in this way.
And we spoke of data, right? Most of these people picked up or are lured through the internet. Data, you understand? Data. That's what the people are using now. In Ghana, you know Sakawa, right?
No.
You don't know Sakawa?
No.
Okay, so I'll call you on phone. Hey, how you doing? You won this lottery, or you'll be excited. So send down £10,000 for me to work it out for you. And some people, people wouldn't ask any question, or believe without questioning, and will straight away send these huge sums of money to the people. And they are duped all the time, and it's going on. It's very high in Ghana. That recently the Minister for Communications had to issue a statement and also put in place measures to ensure that those behind these acts are arrested.
It's all scamming people one way or the other,
exactly.
Isn't it? It really is. Well, good for the police for smashing this sex ring. I have to say, I'm quite curious to know who the famous but as yet unnamed Nigerian DJ is.
I think it will take a while. Definitely the name will come out, but it will take a while for us to know the name.
He was caught flying back into Spain after recording a music video. This is the thing, is that I think with these clues it might not be that hard to figure out. So I'm very interested to know who that is. Oh dear. And that was our stories of the day. So Seth, how long are you in the UK for still?
No, I leave Wednesday. I'm going back to Ghana Wednesday because I have so many things doing there.
I
wish I had more time to explore UK, but unfortunately I don't have time.
What are you working on at the moment back home?
I have about 3 documentaries coming up.
Amazing.
I have one on maternal mortality. I have one on police brutalities and how robbers are on us, visiting mayhem on us. I'm trying to research into that. And my last documentary I'm working on is on menopause. What it is? What is menopause?
Interesting.
What do we know about it? Because when you go to churches, prayer camps, most women you meet there are those in that stage, but they don't know it's because of menopause. So they go there and the pastors tell them they are witches and they accept. So I'm trying to educate women in Ghana that it's a stage. When you get there, you seek the needed medical attention, and you go through it safely without anyone exploiting you. So I'm working on these 3 things.
Yeah, that's some really interesting and quite broad topics there. Definitely.
Yeah.
And maternal mortality that you've been working on as well. Of course, we know the president's wife just opened a brand new maternal hospital. Did you have anything to do with that? That's what I heard.
Okay. Yeah, so I did a documentary that got us that new maternity and mother and baby unit.
Amazing.
In Kumasi. In fact, I had to use that to do my presentation at the UN meeting held in Bristol last week, and it was amazing. So I did that documentary, and in my investigations I realized that we were losing 4 babies every day in that hospital.
Wow.
At least, let me use the adjective, at least 4 babies every day in that hospital. And on the average, we're losing about 100 mothers every year in that hospital.
Far too many.
Yes, due to congestion. You know, a building supposed to ease the congestion there had been under construction for 44 years.
Wow.
44 years it's been under construction. So I told that story and how we're losing babies and mothers because of that. And after the documentary, I took a copy to the wife of the president and the wife of the vice president, Samira, and Rebecca Kufuado. And I told them that the mothers of this country, they have to intervene because we can't look on for this to continue.
Absolutely.
The contractors have told us that even if they got the $75 million needed to complete that huge facility, it's almost 1,000 bed. 1,000 bed is very huge. Almost 1,000 bed capacity facility. Even if they got the $75 million today, it will take them 2 years. So 2 years, and we have been told 4 babies were dying every day. So times 2 years, how many babies
exactly? Are going to lose?
So I had to explain that to the first lady and the second lady, and we got their support. We held 2 fund raisers in their offices and in Kumasi, and by God's grace, we were able to raise approximately $2.5 million, and we have put up this new facility for them in a record time of 6 months.
That's amazing.
And that facility is saving between 6-7 lives every day.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's the power of journalism, the power of what you can do.
I mentioned earlier that we have power. It's up to us to use this very well to change society, to speak for the voiceless. And in this, I think I spoke for the voiceless, and we have solution.
Yeah, absolutely. And keep on doing the good work that you're doing. Thank you so much for coming to see us today. It was an absolute pleasure. Seth Kwame Boateng. And where can we follow you on Twitter?
SK22 Boateng.
SK22 Boateng. To keep up with all the good work that you're doing.
Thank you.
We absolutely will. Right, you're tuned in to the ABN Radio Breakfast Show. Here's a bit of Eminem.
I've been a liar, been a thief, been a lover, been a cheat. All my sins need holy water, feel it washing over me. Well, little one, I don't want to admit to something. If all it's gonna cause is pain, truth in my lies right now are falling like the rain. So let the river run.
He's coming home with his neck scratched to catch black.